the most talked about conversation in River State is the local government election, right? But the most talked about, conversation in Nigeria is River State for the past few days. TV stations, radio stations outside the state. I mean, I'm not talking about maybe South states. I'm talking Southwest. They have all been talking, or I wouldn't say all, but majority of them have been talking about the situation in River State. And I have been asking a question for what now? 2 days. Why always River State? And I think I asked my guest while we were having a phone conversation, why all, and he's an elder statesman. I'll introduce him shortly. He's an elder statesman, a former commissioner. Was it twice? Were you one-time commissioner? Twice. You were a commissioner twice, and a former House of Reps member. So you see, it's part of the political class, so to say. And why always River State? Why are they always? I'll ask him that question eventually. But what are we talking about? So during the big stories, we had the governor say certain police officers, by the way, work is to maintain peace and order, to ensure that the laws of the land are not flouted or else you pay the price, decided to, according to the governor, I wasn't there, I'm going to go with the governor's statement, decided to cut away with things from RESEC, that's the River State Independent Electoral Commission's office. Interestingly, we saw a statement from the PRO of the police later that they will not be participating, or they will not be participatory in the local government elections that will hold tomorrow. Of course, the governor has insisted that the local governments will hold tomorrow. Now, there is the fear, but he has said no fear, nobody should be deterred, that other security agencies will help in the conduct of tomorrow's election. He even said that the only way the election will not hold is over his dead body. That's such a strong statement I would like to state. So for that reason, it's good that we have a conversation as people in River State, as people who have a stake in River State, whether as the media, whether as an elder statesman, whether as a businessman, a student, whether as a parent, a community, stakeholder, whatever it is that you're doing. It's time for us to have a conversation and look at the happenings in River State and look at it from a developmental angle. You're welcome to Hard Facts. I am Kalada Kurubatabo, and it's my pleasure having you on the other side of the radio. Remember, we're live on Facebook, Nigeria Info PH. We are active on X, Nigeria Info PH, and we are very much live on YouTube. Joining me to have the conversation is once again a two-time commissioner, River State, a former House of Reps member, Paworiso Hosful. Chief is a chief. Maybe I should have started with Alabo Paworiso Hosful. It's good to have you and welcome on Hard Facts.
Thank you very much, and thank you, listeners.
You know what we were told growing up, that what an elder sees standing, or is it sitting? Even if I climb the Iroko tree, I probably wouldn't see it. You've lived, for a while in River State, and you've seen the various transitions. River State was not always as politically tense as it is now, and then we have grown in terms of the intensity of the political tension that we usually will feel in the state. How would you describe what is happening, given you also a part of the political class? I don't know if you're retired from politics, but I mean, you also are very much a part of the political class. How would you describe what's happening in River State?
Thank you very much, Kalada. Far from retiring.
Okay, interesting.
Because you may have been aware that I am the leader of Simplified Movement in Asauga.
Oh, interesting.
And today, for once, I've had to shift my base, my party, from...
No, we're not allowed to talk about parties,
Okay.
given the elections are tomorrow.
Okay, all right. I think that politically, the tension has always been there, but not to this magnitude. Now, today, what we are faced with is local government council elections. Local government elections may be until the National Assembly completes her process and it is taken over by INEC. It is RISEC today, and that is the State Independent Electoral Commission's affair. And that is purely, solely, and wholly a state government affair. You are aware that recently the Supreme Court gave a ruling, a judgment, that the local government councils must be governed by elected officers.
All right.
And that the monies accruing to them, to the third tier, will be paid directly to the local government council accounts. And any state that does not have that in place will not receive the monies anymore.
All right.
And the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria called the governors, including our state governor, and gave them 90 days grace period to have this in place. Kalada, you are aware that over 10 states have conducted the elections.
Yeah, a couple,
yeah. And
but by the way, sorry to call you short. About 21 states did not have substantive local government elections, local government administrations.
Yeah.
So about 10 or more have now done out of the 21, which of course Rivers State is a part of. I just needed to put that fact out there.
Yes, that's right. And a couple of them are also embarking on theirs too. Same tomorrow.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So our governor says that in line with the Supreme Court's judgment and the agreement reached with the president on the 90 days grace, that he was going to embark on the local government council elections.
Okay.
Some persons that belong to some other parties initially, were crying that yes, these elections must take place and all that. You recall that there was a time that we had tenure and location of the local government councils that failed, and then eventually the caretakers came up on board. Now he has said, yes, he wants to conduct it. And then some people say, no, don't conduct. We're faced with a situation where there are a series of litigations, court orders upon court orders and all that. In Rivers State, the local government elections that is to be conducted by RISEC is a Rivers State government affair.
So can I come in now? Can
Yes.
I pause you for a bit? Now you've mentioned the order, because you started by saying you're a supporter of the governor, so you've talked about the opposition to the governor, and you have said, started by saying they won the local government elections, and now they're saying they don't want it. But they've given a reason as to why they don't want it. And, you also keep reiterating that it is a Rivers State affair. I'm going somewhere, Chief. You've reiterated that it is a local or Rivers State affair, right? However, they are saying, yes, it is a Rivers affair. Yes, it is, the duty of the governor to power RISEC, and RISEC is powered by laws of Rivers State to do the election. However, the process, and even if it is according to the Supreme Court's judgment, the process duly written down in the Rivers State law has not been followed. Do you think they have agreed all good arguments?
You see, the issue of the process not being followed as part of their reason for not for not participating or boycotting is neither here nor there. Because if you say that there is a flaw in it, of course, why don't you go through the process all the way? Because you're talking about elections, electioneering process, and you're talking about judiciary, meaning that if you have any grounds, if you have any grievance, you know, you go to the courts. Because I am very sure that after now, the chief judge of the state is going to constitute an election petition tribunal.
But you know, if we learn anything from, you know, general elections, you know, we've now, because almost everybody is now a lawyer, by the way. If we've learned anything from the general elections, there's what they call the pre-election matter. So once the election holds, you know, the pre-election matter can no longer be heard. Could it be one of the reasons why they are so, you know, so aggressive against the election, so to say?
No, Kalada, but you see, in addition to that, they have also said, that is the PDP, the faction of the PDP, has also said that they are boycotting this election because the faction of APC is aggrieved and has taken the matter to court. So first, the PDP, the faction of PDP doing this is like taking Panadol, you know,
For APC?
For APC.
Okay.
Now, look at the APC itself. We have a legally recognized APC that is led by Emeka Beke, Chief.
We don't want to go into all of those legalities.
Yes, what I'm saying, what? No,
because it's still in court. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah. I'm going somewhere. Now, if for whatever reason they don't want to conduct, they don't want to participate, why do you want to stop it using or applying, you know, self-help? Because whatever court order that is in there, it tells the security agencies not to participate. I don't think that court order, Kalada, says that the police or the other security agencies should stop the process.
Okay, someone sent me, while I was on the show, someone sent me a true copy, I want to believe, of the court judgment. And there's a part that reads, an order is hereby made, setting aside all acts or things done or purported to have been done by the first to fifth defendants in furtherance of the conduct of the purported local government elections in Rivers State, slated for the 5th of October 2024 until the mandatory provisions of the law are complied with by the defendant. So is that a good enough reason for them to shout and complain?
Where is this coming from?
It's the Abuja, the Federal High Court.
Okay, but you're also aware that the Rivers State High Court had given an earlier order.
It's a court of, how do they say, first pronouncement or something like that?
Yes, first in time. They have given their own order.
But one, I'm not a lawyer, once again, but one is a judgment. It means the judgment has been on for a while. And then the one from the High Court is an order. You know, it's a case that came before the court, you know, on that day, and an order was given.
Yes, they are all orders.
Okay, interesting.
They are all orders.
Oh my. Okay.
Whether state or federal, they are all orders.
Okay.
And save for areas in the Constitution that gives higher authority to federal high courts, they are courts of
competent jurisdiction.
Yes.
Equal coordinates.
Equal coordinates. So if the other parties are aggrieved as to what the River State High Court, you know, ordered, the only place to go to is the appeal court. But that has not been vacated, and then you're going up to the Federal High Court to obtain, you know, a litany of orders and all that. Man, that won't work. That won't work.
So you're saying whatever grievance they have, they should take it to court?
Whatever grievance anybody has, says go to court. If it has to do with local government council elections, wait for the tribunal, because the state judge is going to constitute an election petition tribunal.
But I don't know if...
And if, for instance, you are not participating, why do you want to stop it? You don't have such powers to stop it. The Supreme Court says that you don't have such powers to stop it. The Electoral Act says that no, you can't. You don't also have such powers to stop it. And the orders that come from the courts regarding the participation of the security agencies, it tells them not to participate, and they choose to take that order over and above the state order.
Let me come in now, because I don't think any judgment, be it at the state or at the federal level, that has stopped the election from happening. I don't think there's anyone.
No, but what happened in the early hours of this morning?
What I'm going somewhere. What it did say is the process you have taken may be faulty. So sit back, relax, and rearrange your house. I think that's what I gleaned from the orders that did not favor the election.
Okay, yes. If it says so, and they are not abiding by it, so to say, and they are going on with it, why don't you relax and go to the appeal court? Because you are saying that there is an order that says X, Y, Z, and the other party, that is, in this case, the RISEC, is not abiding by that. They are going ahead with the elections. When they are done with it, you go to the Court of Appeal.
Okay, I would have to appeal to you to take a breather. We do have a commercial coming up.
Okay.
When we come back, I would ask you, because you mentioned the police, let's look at the situation of the police. Is security guaranteed without the police being involved? That's an issue we would also try to look at. Do stay tuned. We'll be right back. Um, Good afternoon to you listening to 92.3 Nigerian Info. This is Hard Facts. I am Kalada Kurubata, but we're live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube, we're active on X, Nigeria Info paid for all platforms, and I still have my guest, Power So Hosful, two-time commissioner, Rivers State, and a former House of Reps member. And we're looking at the political situation in Rivers. I just even got a call from one of my lawyer friends, and he was talking about what we have been talking about. He was trying to explain some legal angles to it, and he said yes, that when things like this happen, you don't resort to self-help. You go back to the court to tell the court that XYZ person failed to obey.
That's what I said.
Yeah, XYZ person failed to obey the law that you have given, and But anyways, I was going to go to the issue of policing during elections, not just in Rivers State, all across Nigeria. It usually is very tense when elections hold, because of course there are people with different ideas, different opinions, and they've got different candidates and different political parties, and so there's always that grievance, and people tend to be physical. The police, sometimes they would help, especially when it has to do with general elections. We also would have the military on ground. But now the police have put out a statement saying they will not be a part of it. Do you think it affects, in your opinion, as a politician over the years, do you think it affects the security? And if it doesn't, do you think it will instill fear on, the number of people who would want to participate? Remember, we are talking about local government autonomy and ensuring that the local government is for the people, irrespective of our political leanings, right? So do you think this has got some kind of impact, security impact on the elections tomorrow?
Now, Canada, there are 18 parties.
Okay.
One party is not participating because even the other party that claims that they are not participating, the legally recognized part of that party is participating, and all saying that they are ready for the elections. RISEC itself is also saying that they are prepared for the elections. And our beloved governor has also said that they have his backing to conduct the elections and to ensure that it is free, it is fair, and it is credible. So, who intends to come and cause this problem? The police says that they are obeying an order and that they are not going to participate. And my governor says that, okay, if you do not want to participate, then stay clear.
So
what are you securing?
Who's going to be in charge? What if there is,
But if the people agree that they want to participate, they want to be part of it, and they are not going to cause trouble, the ones that want to participate, the 18 party, the 17 out of the 18 want to participate. They say, look, this election we want to participate. There is no wahala at all. So who is going to bring?
Now, I mentioned that once again in Nigeria, elections are characterized usually with physicality, right? Usually there are fights. Usually there is ballots and snatching and all of that stuff. Now, we just even before, I think a few days ago, we saw in the news certain people are already complaining, saying, "Oh, there is foul play." That they are setting favorites. They have chosen certain people. Some are saying, for instance, in the news, it was in Falga, one of the wards, saying one of the returning officer is a brother to one of the candidates, right? So people already, I'm going somewhere, and these things have the possibility of, causing one problem or the other. So the question I'm asking is, does this have any kind of impact? Once again, looking at your history as a political, politician or a political actor in Rivers State.
Yes, it may have, but in this case, from what I personally see, Kalada, is that there's a kind of consensus by the people of Rivers State The people of River State have come to a point where they've got to, where they like agree to save the soul, to save.
Yeah. Go ahead, please.
To save the soul of the state, they are coming together. So even when they have such little problems, they believe that somewhere along the line they can resolve it amongst themselves.
Okay.
And where they are not able to resolve it, they also have faith in the election petition tribunal that is going to be set up. So, so if the people decide that they want to do this stuff, and that in the midst of it there could be some little problems like this one, I mean, these kind of problems didn't exist when the police is there. And when the elections are conducted, at the end of the day, the aggregate of what happens, determines, the credibility of the election.
So you're seconding what the governor said. It's inconsequential if the police does not participate.
Oh yes, Kalada, I am fully in line and in support with the governor.
Now, let me paint a picture, and because I want to drag the elders into all of this, which I want to believe you're a part. The political elders, I want to take it that way. Now, in a society, I mean, we watched the UK elections not too long ago. It started with council polls and then went to, the general one, and we saw how things just happened. There was a process. Institution worked. No strong man or strong man trying, to fight for or fight against the system.
That's the problem.
I'm going somewhere, please.
Yeah.
So the system worked, right? And I mean, there were no much arguments, especially with the UK polls. The system worked. In River State now, coming to River State, there are people who are arguing for and the election must hold. There are people who are arguing against. And if you are a neutral person, you would say, and okay, maybe both sides have got arguments, right? The election at the local government level is very sacrosanct and important in the sense that it is the government that is closest to the people. When it comes to the processes, you are saying, okay, you want the right processes to be followed because you want to build strong institutions. So both good arguments, I would say.
That's right.
How did we get here? Who do we blame? What do we blame? Because once again, in River State, these things are always happening. Do we blame the elders?
Canada, you can't blame the elders. We blame ourselves as a whole, and particularly the political class. Now, you have a situation where you have mentioned that most times in Nigeria and as in River State, we are looking at strong man. We are not talking about strong institutions. So if somebody comes up and says that he's a strong man, he owns River State and he can dictate whatever he likes with River State, there is a problem. Because we want institutions to work. Like the example you've given about UK.
Okay.
By the way, look at UK now. The legislative arm. 90% of them are in their 30s. 90% of them are.
I'm not so sure about the statistics.
I am telling you.
Okay.
I'm sure about that.
Okay.
Because the system works. And you look at the system where the majority of the people involved are the youths. It's more or less. And the people want to pay more attention to strong. So when somebody comes to say that he owns what and all that, it becomes a problem.
So before I come to the elders, you are saying the opposition, one man is, claiming to be the strongest, stronger than institutions. But, when you look at it from your own camp as well, can we say that your camp is also building strong man and not strong institutions? Because once again, the argument by these other people, I could play a soundbite for you if you want just to be clear about what they are saying, but they are saying that the processes have not been duly followed. So are we building strong men and weakening institutions, which once again I want to drag the political elders into?
Canada, look here now. This time, the one that attacked a strong man, or they think that the person that wants to, they are claiming that they are promoting being a strong man. In this case, the governor, his party is not even participating.
But it's really.
His party is not participating. He even said yesterday that
He's one of the biggest losers.
he's one of the biggest losers because he's a critical stakeholder in the PDP, and in fact, he is supposed to be the leader of PDP in the state. But for all this stuff that is happening, so the institution he wants to build, what he intends to build is strong institution. That is why he's even counting himself out. Despite the fact that his party is not participating, he still wants to ensure that the process goes through, whereby it will be the government of the people, for the people, by the people. And that is the case where we find ourselves.
But I mean, you were part of Orderly's administration, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
We've been hearing it's all about the people right from 1999.
Yes.
But has it really been about the people? Because, I mean, it's the same rhetoric we use now. People first. But is it really about the people?
You are right, Kalada, to ask that question. Because the truth is that is what it is supposed to be. And that is the definition of democracy.
Okay.
But in the actual sense of it, it is not that way. We've gone through a lot of ways where people keep crying like, no, they won't vote because their votes don't count. Because you go to your vote and then you see something else. Even what has happened recently in Edo State too, we are all witnesses to it. So, the governor of Rivers State is trying to change that narrative. He wants to bring it back to the people. That is why he is not bothered that his party is not participating. Where he would be let me go to our local balance, to be the strong man or the baba the bar. Okay. Let's not even bothered about that. He's saying that, okay, all you other parties that want to participate, I will, as the governor of Rivers State, create the conducive environment, the secured environment, and I will also provide the logistics to the body responsible for organizing these elections for it to take place, so that he can fall in line with the Supreme Court judgment and also in line with the agreement reached with the president of the country.
Now, I want to do some tough questions now. I hope you don't mind.
Yes.
Are you once again sure you're not building a strong man? What if the governor, His Excellency Simnalai Fubara, tomorrow becomes a strong man? History. Rivers people fought for Amechi, correct me if I'm wrong. Rivers people fought for Nyesom Wike, correct me if I'm wrong.
Correct.
Rivers people are saying they're fighting for Simnalai Fubara, correct me if I'm wrong. My question is, are you sure? Because I asked you, right from 1999, we have been told Rivers... Tell me what you mean.
Rivers State people are fighting to save the soul of the state. Rivers State. They are not fighting for Simnalai Fubara. The governor Sim Fubara is only a symbol that stands to do that which is right on the part of the people.
Was it not yet again?
Yes, it's not even tested. It's not on the ballot.
But he keeps saying, and maybe I should play the soundbite again. At one time he said, "It's my." How did he put it? And let's play, for proper context.
I don't know what the relationship between Inspector General of Police and one person who claims he has so much power in this state, because it's beginning to go beyond the non-professional relationship. I said the government wrote a letter with the judgment that we have to him, and what he's acting on is what he called the judgment he got from the Federal High Court. Even at that, if we should go by that, if the judgment in the Federal High Court, Lifu, that justice that gave that fraudulent judgment, did he say no election? Rather, it technically said don't provide. We don't need your security. We will provide our own security. After all, it happened in Anambra, go away with your security. But this election must hold. If I go back and I hear anybody, I will come here. This is my property, and you don't have any power whatsoever to buy.
That's what I wanted to play. He said it is his property, and you're not to buy it.
This is his property, bossy. This is his property, bossy. He had a property in front of us, and because I am the governor of Rivers State, I owe the people of Rivers protect their property. That I am the governor.
All right. Okay.
That I am the governor.
All right. Okay. So now my next question is, the governor, His Excellency Simnalai Fubara, mentioned the press informed about, we've talked about the police, we talked about, the stands to the, and we've talked back and he's saying he would write directly to the president. What do you think the president can do as it is now? Because October, in 2 weeks or 3 weeks' time, makes it 1 year since we had all of this. I think of my conversation, for most part of the so the question then is, what do you think president can do at this point?
Point him as a minister. Point him as a minister. We would probably not have this situation.
You think so?
We'd probably not have this situation.
You think so?
So if not be problem anymore, so the president is like taking off and allow the state and the governor to be at peace.
Okay.
To govern the state.
All right.
So that's what I think that the president can surely handle this matter by calling his minister to order.
Okay. Now let me comment now. I think River State elders are on TV now giving a media briefing as it relates to the local government poll. I don't know if are you a member of that group? Are you a part of it?
No, this is from my seeing my elder brother and a very highly respected elder statesman. I know that this part of it, they belong to the minister.
So now back to my question: are you the political or the elders who are involved in politics? Because not every elder is very much concerned about this.
Yes.
Are you people part of the problem once again?
Well, from what you see here, I'm not aware of what he's saying, but I mean, at least I know where he stands on the divide. So I can say rightly that he is on the minister's side of the divide, and if he's on the minister's side of the divide, then I wouldn't be wrong to say that yes, we are part of the problem, because what is the kind of advice that they are giving to him? What is the type of advice you are giving to him for somebody who claims clearly that he is a strong man and that he is stronger? In fact, recently, Kalada, you must have heard that he says that he's stronger than even all the PDP governors put together.
Was that how you put it? But he said he was going to put fire. But was that how you put it?
The fire, he said, was on. But on this occasion, he
said all the opposition put together.
Yes,
is stronger than them.
Yes,
but he didn't call
the governors.
Okay, all right.
The governors, because all the governors that were in support of our governor, His Excellency Fubara, that all of them put together, that he is stronger than them.
What's the solution? Because we've just gone around in circles. We've tried to find the blame. We've tried to find.
Kalada, the solution is that.
And try not to be. I know you have a political leaning, but try to think Rivers first. What do you think
Rivers first, and that is what the governor says.
Okay,
Rivers first.
I shouldn't have used that. Try to think about Rivers people, right? Development of Rivers State, so to say. What do you think is the solution? What's the way forward? How do we get this and ensure that by the next election cycle, we would not be having such political tension or intensity that has negative vibes?
Canada, sorry. We should go away from that desire, that inordinate desire to want to get hold of structure.
But it's all this not for structure. I mean, is the governor not building a structure?
The governor is building a structure not for himself,
Okay.
as against the other. The governor is building a structure for the people.
Okay.
See, when you build a structure for yourself, you can imagine that structures have been in place since the advent of the new political dispensation. Odili, my boss, His Excellency Sir Dr. Peter Odili, my boss. He came in, and there was a structure, the party structure. When he left, he didn't come back to say that I own the structure, I must keep the structure, I must fight for the structure, nobody can take the structure. No! All this has gone on until we've gotten to the point where we are now, where somebody wants to claim to own the structure.
All right. Unfortunately, I would have to pause here. My time is up. I had one more question to ask. I wanted to ask, 1999 up until now, is there anything in Rivers State we could look at and boast of? Or is it political strong men and all of that? But, time is fast spent. You and I will talk about that off air, and I've got to go. Do stay tuned, more conversations.
Nigeria Info. We'll be right back.